Welcome to the Misfit One Lifestyles with Elizabeth Colin. She will awaken and connect with your Misfit One. Are you tired of the ups and downs in your life? Are you ready to live a healthy lifestyle once and for all? We are talking about all aspects of your life. Being fit is not just physical, it's also your mind and soul. Learn how to take steps in your life to move towards your goals. Elizabeth's goal is for everyone listening to the sound of her voice to get fit. Let's get focused, let's get intentional, and let's transform. Now here's your host, Elizabeth Colin.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Misfit One Lifestyles with your host, Elizabeth Colin, also known as Misfit One. And listen, this show will not disappoint. We have a guest here that is going to give us the 911 on that body work, that deep tissue massage, all that stuff that's good and yummy. Miss Charmaine Benjamin, how you doing, girlfriend?
Thank you. I am doing wonderful. Happy Tuesday.
Yay. Okay, listen. She is a licensed massage and bodywork therapist, but that's amazing in itself, but she's also a doula. Like, girl, my mind is blown with that because, I hear about a doula and I think of the old African sway, like, ooh, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And to meet one in real life, this is awesome. So tell us a little bit about you so that the audience can know all about Miss Charmaine.
Yes. So I am Charmaine,
Hey, girl.
a licensed massage and bodywork therapist, birth worker by trade. Becoming a birth worker is actually what introduced me to massage therapy. So I started off as a birth doula, childbirth educator, and lactation counselor. And so I would always massage my clients during labor and delivery. And so my clients would say, girl, you got those hands, or when you could just make me forget about a contraction, you really have a gift. And so, throughout my training and throughout my work, hip squeezes, back massage, and, reflexology, I was doing it all with my doula clients. And so I said, let me go to massage school. So I really know what I'm doing and, know the muscles that I'm touching and showing love to. And so I decided to go to massage therapy school and pass my state board exam. And so I created my baby. I call it my baby, Mama Me Time.
Yes.
Because we take a woman who is becoming a mother and we're educating her about childbirth education. And, we're there with her during labor and delivery, and we're doing the prenatal massages, and we're taking her to the postpartum stages of, postnatal massages, and just being acquainted with being a mother, essentially. And so we get to help our clients and our members not forget about themselves, take care of their health and wellness, and self-care. So self-care is definitely healthcare, especially at Mama Me Time.
I love that, Mama Me Time, and it's such a great name. It is so awesome. But what I would really like to dive into for our listeners is that a doula, like, I wanted to have my babies. I have 3, right?
Okay.
And obviously I couldn't have any of them at home because I have monsters. I didn't really have babies. I had like a 12-pounder, 11-pounder, and
not
a
monsters.
Yeah, they came out like giants. They were like, wow. And so I had to have C-sections.
Okay.
But I do recall that I wanted a water birth. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I want to do a water birth. And when I was in labor with my first, we chickened out, of course, and went on to the hospital. But when I was in labor, they put me in the because I was in labor like 3 days. It was not a good time. But they put
Wow.
me in that what's the whirlpool,
Yes.
the hot tub thing with them jets.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a bathtub with the jets
Yeah.
in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that really, really helped with my contractions. So I didn't want to get out. They was like, "You ready to get out?" I'm like, "No," because I
Yeah.
felt nothing in there. So what that's all I can think about when you say massages, doing
Mm-hmm.
contractions. So
Yes.
can you kind of break down what you actually do when a lady is in labor, like she's going to give birth?
Yes. Yes. So for my clients, they like for me to meet them at their homes, with the dynamics of, labor and delivery in the hospital, if you will.
Right.
It has become more so intervention prone versus allowing childbirth and labor to happen naturally as we were taught. And
Right.
so my clients essentially want me to come to their home where I began at that early labor, active labor, part. And so it allows them to get in their zone. It allows them to connect with baby. It allows them to breathe throughout the contractions. At Mama Me Time, we don't recognize contractions. We call it birthing waves. So we don't recognize the word pain. We call it pressure. And so we teach our mothers to, you know, have not fun, but enjoy it's beautiful. It's a beautiful experience. It's one that you can't compare it to anything else. So when I'm there, I'm not only a physical support, massaging the back, massaging the feet. I'm helping with the tense areas in the forehead. My mamas know to don't tense up, don't shrug. We need that block. We need that blood and that oxygen to flow down. So we need everybody to be, relaxed. So I'm doing some, neck massaging and everything. And so yeah, my clients typically get a full body massage.
Wait, okay, Charmaine, let's back up then. Maybe I put the horse, before the car. But let's go back.
Okay.
So when you get a new client, you
Mm-hmm.
obviously are teaching them these things. Like I went
Yes.
to Lamaze class.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you go in and you guys work together uh, prior to their birth,
Correct. So we
teaching them how to
have,
breathe, all the work.
yes.
Can you kind of give us a
Okay.
little on that? Yeah.
So a client, signs up around that second trimester with me. So that's anywhere after 14 weeks of pregnancy.
Okay.
And so we are having maybe 2 to 4 prenatal visits, depending on the package that mama chooses. For my first time moms, they always choose, the biggest package because they want it all. They want the childbirth education. They want the in-person prenatal classes. They want the labor support classes where mama and spouse or partner is there. And so I'm showing them, how to interact during labor and delivery and what to do during the pressure waves. And so we have met on average about 6 times before, baby decides to make his or her arrival. And so during those prenatal meetings, we're doing affirmations. We're doing, we're creating playlists of, soothing music. Again, like I said, the labor support classes, we're doing hands-on physical techniques of what myself and birthing partner can do. And we're using things around the house because, like I said, many of my clients want to start at home. They want to create that sacred place at home. They want to get in the zone at home before they decide to go to the hospital, or if they're having a home birth, they stay at home. They have a midwife with them as well. But essentially before the actual birth, we've met on average 6 times. I'm always available via phone. I have clients, we have bi-weekly video chats. And so they have a prenatal meeting with their provider. They're reaching out to me. They're letting me know, hey, this is what happened. I have some concerns. And so I'm helping my clients not only become educated about the process of giving birth, but they're also becoming advocates for themselves, especially those who are birthing in the hospital setting. And so we have something what we call Use Your Brain. It's the acronym that we use. And it's basically, a healthcare provider, rushes into your room and they say, we need to do this, this, and this. And you have no idea what is going on. We say, use your brain. What are the benefits? What are the risks? What are the alternatives? What does my intuition say? And what happens if I do nothing? And so we are educating our mamas and essentially allowing them to enjoy giving birth and becoming a mama and taking ownership of this beautiful experience that you just can't compare to anything else.
Right. And what I find so fascinating with this is because you're right. A lot of times you can't explain. No one really can tell you what's going to happen at childbirth, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I know in my case, my mom had already passed. My mom died when I was 11, so I didn't have anybody to kind of go to other than my dad, which
Yeah.
was the wrong thing. I love my
Men.
dad. I love him so much, but he basically told me that it was like he said back in my day the women would be picking cotton and bend down, give birth, and keep going.
I've
So
heard
I
that
was
many
thinking,
times.
well, if they can do it, I'm tough, I can do it too.
Mm-hmm.
However, that didn't I wasn't squatting and walking away like that,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and so it's so good to have someone to talk to you about it, because even I've given birth and I could just tell people it's an experience that I can't explain.
Yeah.
It's an experience that I can't explain. And I'm not going to lie to nobody and be like, you can squat and have a baby and keep working. That ain't coming out my mouth.
Especially not now. Everybody, the newer moms, they believe they can snap back within a week and, I can get back to work. And then you have the whole maternity leave situation. So, mothers don't have a choice but to return, back to work. And so I've heard that many times, our ancestors were, giving birth and, in the fields and squatting down and then tie baby on the back and just kept it pushing and moving. But being that we're also here for our mamas during the postpartum period, rest, self-care, health, wellness, and I'm still old school. My mama used to say, "Girl, for the those first 6 weeks, you got to cover up. Nothing that your body should be showing.
You can't go out the house. You was like, well, you can't leave. You can't do it. It was crazy because I didn't want to either. I was like, you're right. I can't go outside.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I left the hospital, had a hoodie and, sweatpants and socks and, mittens. I didn't want anything to show. But then, I'm seeing, some new moms and out in meal drifts. And I'm just like, no,
And they babies. They have brand new babies out. Like, no protection, no nothing. It's so funny how I'm old school as well. And it's so funny that we have such different techniques or ways that we come across. But when you come in to help your clients, first of all, you are located in North Carolina, correct?
Correct. Charlotte, North Carolina. Yes.
Yes. How can people get in contact with you?
You can visit our website, which is mamametimespa.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Mama Me Time Spa. And all of our contact information, email, phone number is all listed there. And we are here.
And I love that because, we did, like I said, Lamaze, and I don't know, that was what, how long? I don't know how long it was, but whatever it was, I did the complete opposite of what they said, right?
Yeah.
They say breathe,
Hmm.
and I held my breath.
Yes.
I held my breath on every contraction. I'm like,
And that's
right?
essentially why doulas are important, because even though I'm teaching my clients this, beforehand, they forget. Their minds are all
Absolutely.
over the place. And so myself and, their spouse or, partner, we're there to help mom remember we did this, remember we did this breathing technique. And so uh, it's very beneficial for moms now to have a support person there with them, whether it's a doula or not, but definitely someone who understands the beautiful nature of giving birth, and can be there to help mom physically, and emotionally, because I've noticed a lot of my new clients, they say, won't the nurse be there? You have to realize that nurse has
A
other
job.
yeah, she has other patients too on that floor to
Yeah.
tend to. Whereas when you hire a doula, we are there for you, mama, and we're not leaving your side. And we are essentially your 24/7 nurse, if you will.
Okay, yeah. So we keep saying doula, and I don't know if everybody knows a doula. So
Mhm.
can you give us a definition of what is a doula?
Yes. I can say a doula is a labor companion. It's your labor support companion. This person doesn't perform anything medically, but this person is skilled and highly educated in birth and different techniques, including positions and essentially helping mom handle those pressure waves, and also keeping her calm, cool, and collect, while educating and advocating her throughout the entire process from prenatal, on to postpartum.
I love how you make it sound like, the body waves and to have a partner is important because husbands you fill in the
Yes,
rest. Everybody
yes,
know, right?
yes.
Everybody know that, my husband actually fainted, so he was no good in one. Like, boy, come on now, I'm
Yeah,
doing all the work, can you at least hold my hand? you know um
gotcha.
but because I think that husbands are too close to it as well. Their
Hmm.
emotions are involved, they feel our heightened sense of,
Yes.
and they don't know how to ease our pain or what to
Hmm.
say. And after my dad told me that childbirth is so easy, right? He didn't even show up to the hospital, and I kept asking, "Where's my daddy? Where daddy?" Everybody was there, but my dad did not come until after I had.
Yes.
Then he was like, "Yeah, because I don't want to see you in so much pain, and I can't help you."
Yes. Yes.
So you knew it was gonna be pain, daddy.
Yes, and when I meet my families, during the first prenatal meeting, I say, hey, are you going to, to the spouse, are you going to be hands on? Because I never want to take over an experience for a family. This
Right.
is an experience that may never happen again, or you want to cherish that moment. And
You
so
do.
I want my spouse to know that I'm not here to take over. I'm here to teach you what to do during this time. I want you to be the hero.
Right.
And so I'm there to not only help my mama, but the spouse as well. And so I have some dads who say, this is not my cup of tea. I'm gonna let you be hands on. I'll be in the back. And
Right.
so,
Call me when it's over. Yeah.
it's, and so if it's okay for me to step in and take that lead role, then I do. But for the most part, what I've seen with my, clients is that they just want to know what to do and how to help mama. And so that's what I'm here for.
Now, at your spa, is it packages for moms to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because this is for the moms out there. Listen, I'm a grandma.
Mhm.
I'm not in that game no more, but I know plenty of people who are, and it's really important. Like I always talk about, self-care is important,
Yes.
and people don't realize a lot of times once they become pregnant, self-care is over because now we just, trying to make sure we're eating enough for the baby or we
Mhm.
sleeping enough for the baby. I still got work to do. I don't know what's happening. Our minds are going, 9 months of what could be, what
Yes.
ifs, right? So if you can prepare yourself, that's the whole platform, right? Is to be fit, focus, intentional, and then transformative. You can totally get someone who can focus on you and teach you how to move with intentions
Yes.
so that you can have this beautiful brand new person into the world. How transforming is that? Whereas I know my births were not beautiful. They were beautiful when they were done,
Yeah.
but I had 3 hours at one time I was 3 days in labor,
Wow.
not knowing anything. The doctors didn't say anything. I don't
Mhm.
know. Then we ended up having a C-section. My son was the only normal, I would say, because I was only in labor 8 hours. Like he
Okay.
was he was a day of work. That's what I call him,
Okay.
my day of work.
Gotcha.
But still C-section. And
Mhm.
then my youngest was also about 24 hours. My girls were, they hung on in there,
Yeah.
a little longer. But I wish I would have had a doula because even with the second one, the third one, I figured I kind of know what's going to happen, but it's still a lot of what ifs.
Yes. 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 And so I became a doula because of the birth of my son back in 2017. I had a cesarean. And so at the time, I was introducing myself to birth work. And so in my mind, I was like, this wasn't supposed to happen this way. I'm the birth worker. I know what to do.
Right.
And things just did not go as planned. And so when it got time for us to, have our second child, which we did last year, my daughter, uh,
Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you. I put everything, that I was doing in the beginning and what we call a VBAC. So it's a vaginal birth after cesarean. So I have a lot of clients who are going for VBACs. Yes, you can have a vaginal birth after cesarean. And so I am a living proof that you can have a vaginal birth after cesarean, which I did unmedicated. So
Wow.
it is possible. And so I take on a lot of clients who also want to have a VBAC, vaginal birth after cesarean, because a lot of healthcare systems would say, you've had one cesarean, you have to have the other and so
Yep.
forth. And it's just not the case. It's just a lot of outdated information that
Well,
needs to
that's
be.
good you saying that because my first one said that, of course, you're gonna always have to have C-section. Then I had the
Mm-hmm.
second one that you gonna have. Then when I was pregnant with my third, they was like, no, you can have vaginal. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
are you sure? Because they said, they was like, absolutely for sure. And the whole time I kept saying, I don't know, because
Mm-hmm.
I was told that you
Yep.
couldn't, right? And then after I was in labor 10 hours or so, got to 10 centimeters, getting ready to push. I'm ready. This is what I was made to do. Then they like, ooh, we're gonna have to have an emergency C-section. Cause I'm like, what? That's when I
Wow.
cried because
Yeah.
I didn't want to have a vaginal anyway. Y'all said I had to.
And then you did all the work. You got
Then
to
I did.
10 centimeters. Yeah, you did all the work.
Y'all couldn't figure that out when I was like at 4.
Yeah.
I mean, not just 4, I'm saying 4, because before I got all the way to
Yes.
10,
Yes.
right? So it's really good to know those things. And it's important in our self-care to be on top of all that, not just,
Mhm.
for our physical health, but also our mental health. Just
Yes.
think how much clarity you
Mhm.
can have in this process of the unknown.
Yes, I agree.
I love that. I love that. So let's give them some tips, right? For
Okay.
all the mothers that is planning to be, or would you say, how many weeks do they usually contact you?
Usually around the second trimester, so about 14 weeks.
Second trimester,
Mhm.
can you give them like 2 or 3 tips
Okay.
of kind of how to, one, research and find a doula, get your,
Mhm.
find you, and secondly on um what's kind of that first trimester, just kind of give them some tips to have a little peace of mind in that first trimester on.
Yes, yes, I could definitely do that. So, every pregnancy is different, and every mama is different. And on average, a lot of mamas experience morning sickness during that first trimester. My tip is always to stay hydrated as much as you can, to stay hydrated. And what helped me and what helped some of my moms is to uh, eat smaller bites, have some crackers on your nightstand, and eat as soon as you get up. But just take care of yourself that first trimester. If you have to take off work, if you have to delegate, tasks to the household, bring your village together, because the first trimester is so critical to you and baby that you want to make sure your health, wellness, and your self-care is together. And if you can't, keep the food down, don't worry. Don't worry about it. I tell all my clients that's the detox period. And so that's just your body detoxing and making sure that your baby is going to have a very healthy home for the remainder of the 40 weeks, throughout the
Ah,
pregnancy. So just make sure you take care of yourself mentally. And then we'll worry about the nutrition once you get over this, hump, second trimester. And
I
then for
love
those
that.
and then for those who are, unaware of the role of a doula or interested in hiring a doula, um, I would definitely say do some research in your city, whether it's via Google or Facebook. Facebook seems to be like the biggest place where people find me. So I'm assuming that you'll be able to find other doulas. But those who have, their website and everything in order, you can definitely Google Charlotte doula, on Google. And, I always tell people to interview at least three.
And what are
Interview
you looking for when you are looking for a doula?
you're looking for someone who you connect with, someone who has experience in your pregnancy. For example, if you're going for a VBAC, you want to make sure your doula has supported other moms who have had a VBAC. Maybe you're a high risk mom, and someone who suffers from gestational diabetes, or you just want to see if you can connect with a doula who supported someone on that level. Or maybe you're considering a home birth and you want to make sure your doula has experience with supporting moms who has had a home birth. So I always look for connection. And even,
That's important.
as a doula, I hired a doula for my birth, and I wanted to make sure that I connected with the person. And it wasn't
Right.
necessarily me hiring a doula for me, but I was hiring a doula for my husband because I wanted to make sure he wasn't going to faint, and I wanted to make sure
Right.
he didn't throw everything that I taught him out the window.
Right.
So
Right.
you want to make sure you and spouse connect with this person. You want to make sure your birth preferences align with one another. And so that would be my nugget. Also, if you believe your doula should have more, qualifications, like if your doula, provides childbirth education, if your doula provides postpartum care, if your doula provides lactation counseling, or like myself, I have
You
the
do
added,
all of those,
I
right?
do all of those
Yeah,
on
those
top of being a
yeah.
licensed massage therapist. So for some of my clients, they're like, you're like a one-stop shop. Why wouldn't I go with you? You have everything
Absolutely.
I need. And like I
Right.
said, with Mama Me Time, we take our mamas from that prenatal stages on, to postpartum. And
I
so,
love that.
and years beyond, because I have a lot of clients who have sent their kids off to college and they're still coming to us to get their self-care work. And that's what we are here for.
And it's great. I know earlier I was saying at your spa we have packages for them to
Mhm.
come in and get massages. Is it while they're pregnant? Can you get massages while you're
Yes,
pregnant?
yes, yes. We have month-to-month memberships.
Okay.
We also, not only, like I said, not only do we, give services to pregnant women, but we also give services to women in general, whether they're a mother or not. And so we specialize, of course, in prenatal massage and postpartum massage, but we also specialize in deep tissue, myofascial release, which is essentially body stretching, Swedish massage, and so much more.
That's very cool because I do recall having a lactation nurse
Hmm.
after my son. So my first kid, I did not breastfeed because I just didn't want to.
Hmm.
And I was afraid, it was a lot of, I don't know, I just didn't want to.
Yes,
And my dad, so they gave you the little pills. So if you're not gonna breastfeed, they give you pills. Well,
to
they
dry
did
you up.
to dry me up back in the day,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Because my first kid is now going to be 32, so that was a long time ago. But I do recall when my dad did show up and I was going to get the baby, and I wasn't feeding her.
Gotcha.
He was like, wait a minute, you're not going to breastfeed. And I said, no, Dad, I want me. And he went so, I mean, my dad was so upset with me because he was like, what do you think they there for? Decorations? He's like, this is what they were designed to do. You have to,
Wow.
my dad, you gotta love old Harry Lee. Harry Lee had, and yeah, so I felt so bad and so guilty from my first one that of course when I had the second one, I was gonna do this right. And
Yeah.
they had the nurse come in because I have no idea what I was doing. And I thought it was so cool because, they show you how to hold the baby and
Hmm.
I'm watching her learn, doing all this stuff. And she's like, now place the baby. And my son was like, I don't need no help. My son was like, got it. So it was really good because God knows who he dealing with me.
Hmm.
So he was like, listen, I'm gonna need somebody that can go ahead and do this. Because if
Yes.
I had to fumble with it, because I just didn't want to, but it was a really amazing experience. And I'm so happy that the lactation person was there, the
Yes.
counselor, to kind of walk me through because I wouldn't have known.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know what to
Yeah.
do.
And many moms don't know what to expect. And so one of the things that I teach my clients is we call it the golden hour. So that first hour after you have given birth, it's the perfect time to establish
Yeah.
breastfeeding with the skin to skin. And so you place baby on, your chest, he or she is going to smell that milk, and it's
Yeah.
just going to make their way right on over and latch immediately. And
Yeah.
so, not only is that golden hour so important, but that oxytocin, which is the love hormone, by baby latching and helping you build up that milk, you're also helping your uterus shrink back into place, back to your prenatal stages, if you will.
Yeah.
So everything about that golden hour, and I make sure I keep it sacred. I'm the doula in the room that, like, baby comes out, baby goes immediately to mom. Don't talk to mom. Don't disturb mom. This is her moment. This is her
Oh,
moment to bond with baby. Spouse is in the room. He or she and join in on this sacred moment. We call it the communion. This is the communion moment. And no one, I know the hospitals, they like to do the policies and procedures. They like to, put the drops in babies' eyes. They like to prick and prep. All of that can wait. You don't need to know how much baby weighs immediately. You don't need to, do anything with baby. All you need to do is allow that umbilical cord to stay attached so we can get some more of that blood flowing into baby. When you allow the placenta to stay attached to baby, you can get about 30% more blood for that baby, which is very critical for the first 3 years of life. And nobody just knows that. So leave the placenta attached. We put it in a bowl next to mom, just for that first hour. Just let mom.
Are you serious?
Let mom and baby do what they need to do. If they decide to cut the umbilical cord or, whatever, but let's that first hour while baby is latched, let's continue that bonding. And I guarantee you, mom will have a successful breastfeeding journey when that happens.
Oh my God. None of that happened for me. Not one of those things. It was chaotic and crazy afterwards. And it was a lot of movement. And I kept saying, is it a girl or a boy? Is it a girl or I didn't even get to see the baby.
Yeah, they just take the baby and go put it under the light and
and I'm like, girl or boy, is it a girl or a boy? It was crazy. And that gave me goosebumps right there. I love the golden hour.
I think my husband and I were the first people, they said, at the hospital that asked them to do that. And we asked them to not cut the cord. We actually burnt the cord with a lighter. Right. And so they said we were the first. And I tell my clients all the time, you have birth rights, but many people don't know it. So it's very important to have an advocate in the room with you.
Listen, I just might have another baby just so I can do all this. I'm lying, y'all. I'm lying.
When you do what I do, I have a lot of stories to tell, including the fact that my baby girl was born in the triage room. We never even made it to the delivery room in the hospital, and she was born still intact in her water bag. I just literally got up out the wheelchair and propped my leg up and told my husband, catch your daughter, and out she came. So yeah, it was a beautiful experience.
My mouth is literally hung open, you guys.
My husband said they can't charge us for that, right? We delivered our old baby.
Okay, facts. Now listen. This is one that a lot of people don't know, but I was not born at a hospital. My dad delivered me. I was born on a boat.
Okay.
My mom went fishing. I wish it was a yacht. I wish it was something fancy like that. That's how
it was on the water. It
was on the water for sure. But I was born. My dad delivered me on a fishing boat, and it's so funny because my mom, they still took me to the hospital afterwards to make sure everything was okay. I was all right. And my dad said that they tried to charge him for doing an exam and all like that. And he was like, oh no, I did all the work. I am not paying for her. And my dad used to always tell me, you're the only thing on my credit report, because I refuse for them to pay. Yeah, God laughed so hard because my dad did give birth to me. So, but if I don't know what my birth was, I can only hear the stories of it. So it was an amazing thing. That's why I wanted to give birth at home. I kind of wanted to kind of do that. I definitely didn't want to do it in the water. My mom didn't either. Trust me, my mom did not. That was not her first choice either. But my dad had to go fishing.
Yep.
And my mom was too scared to stay home by herself. So he said, well, could you come on with me because I'm going fishing. So that is how I was delivered. And obviously he knew what to do.
Yeah. I mean, what do they say? Fight or flight? something's gonna come together. You're gonna figure it out. When you
Right.
have no other choice, you'll figure it out.
Right, because here I is, right? Like here I am, my daddy did it. But I am just so honored that you took time out to talk to us, because I know people always have all these questions around it. It happens every day.
Mhm.
It happens every day. But as women, unfortunately, we go in with a lot of what ifs. And
Yeah.
if we had a doula, we would have known all this. Like, I would have had an amazing golden hour with
Mhm.
my children. Like, duh. And I even would have known it with the first kid about breastfeeding and not. I just went in blind. I knew
Yeah.
nothing. So I really appreciate you talking to us and giving us this knowledge, because it's so important to be fit in all stages of your life,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
So before we wrap it up, tell them one more time how they can stay connected to you.
Yes, we can be reached on our website at mamametimespa.com. And you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Mama Me Time Spa.
Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And
Thank you.
really appreciate this. This was really informative, because I knew none of this. I knew
Well,
none of this.
I'm glad I can educate, and hopefully I can, those who are listening feel empowered to know your birthrights, and hit me up if you have any questions in regards to birth doula, childbirth education, or even lactation. I'm here for you.
That's right. Use your brain, guys. Use your brain. Until next week, you guys, live fit. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Misfit One Lifestyles. Listen, when you are fed up and sick and tired of living this stifled, overwhelmed, and overstressed life, and you're ready to live the fullest, richest, and healthiest life by gaining more confidence, more energy, and more clarity, living in your best self, you know what to do, right? Go ahead, go to my website, misfit1.com. Sign up for our online courses, Creating Healthy Habits, so that you too can live fit, focus, move with intention, and transform your life.